FlightBoss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening.
Doing that stuff.
Hold on. Okay, you're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God's duties and motherfucking responsibilities. God damn it, FlightBoss, bitch. And what we about to talk about right now? What's going on? What's the next planet? We went from Mercury. We went to Venus. Mars. Let's talk about Mars. So what's going down with Mars? I'm going to go through all the Mars signs. And I'm going to do the little Mars introduction. I think I did all the planets before, so I'm going to just call it part 2. Because, who knows? But I'm going to be here forever. So, you know what I'm saying? It might be 100 different videos. It might be, I got Mars already, part 1. It's going to be Mars, Mars part 2, Mars part 3, Mars part 4, Mars part 5. And we're going to grow with these planets. And as long as y'all grow with me, I'm going to grow with them. And we all gonna grow together. So let's talk about it. Now what's Mars? Now let's talk about Mars. Now what's Mars right here? Now Mars is your intentions. It's your intent. The intentions behind your actions. So what is your actions? Your actions is your sun. Your reactions is your moon. Your communication, the way you build the processes in your mind before you communicate it, is Mercury. The way how you feel and assert yourself with others and to give and receive some type of affection, whether good or bad, that's Venus. Now we into Mars. Mars is your intentions behind it all. The intent. Whether you got good or bad intentions, which there's no such thing good or bad. What's good to you may be bad to me. What's bad to me may be good to you. But in vice versa, the intentions behind it comes from a divine source in general anyway. So you will know if you unaligned with your own good and bad within your own self. You know how you feel when you unaligned. So a lot of this plays into the Mars aspect. Now, if you want to talk about family-wise, it's because there's a lot of different ways we can look at Mars. If you want to talk about family-wise, Mars is the older sibling, the older son. Like Mercury is the baby son, the fast-paced, moving, commit. What's this? Curious, putting things in his mouth. May have drunk some dishwashing liquid or something like that. Had to hurry up and take the little boy to the hospital. That's Mercury. Curious, into everything. You know what I'm saying? Venus is the daughter from the mother, which is the moon. Father, mother, son, moon. You know what I'm saying? The daughter. So the Venus and moon, they share a connection. And what's the connection is Venus, how you feel, and the moon is your emotional stability. And to understand your emotional stability, you have to understand where Venus at to understand what kind of feelings is striking certain emotions in you. Now, when we talk about Mars, Mars could be represented as the older brother, or the uncle. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got a lot of people, a lot of astrologers want to talk about Mars, and they want to say things like Mars is the soldier. Now, the reason why they get that, where they get that information from, they may not know it, but the actual energy of Mars is the intentions to carry out the actions, which is the general, which is the one. Who is the general? The sun, the father. Mars is here to carry out the actions of the sun. So it's here to carry out, Mars is here to carry out the duties and responsibilities of the sun, the same way the archangel is here to carry out God's duties and responsibilities. Uriel, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. And by me being a sun in Aries, I understand this a little bit more than others. You know what I'm saying? So already, you know what I'm saying? Now, before I even get into anything else, Scorpios and Aries have to pay, sun signs especially, you have to pay very close attention what sign your Mars is in. You know what I'm saying? Now, all signs from from a 60 to 70% have all sun signs have to your moon sign, your Mars sign is how you're gonna actually put together and do your actions, the intentions behind your actions. But it's 100% for Scorpios and Aries to understand where Mars at in your chart, because where Mars at in your chart is gonna highly depict and formulate your actions. But if you're sun sign Aries or Scorpio, because y'all both ruled by Mars. Now, in a general sense of things, like I said, the reason why they said Mars is the soldier, because it's here to carry out the general's duties and responsibilities. But by no means or anything necessary, I want you to think simplistically like it's a soldier amongst an army and it's just a soldier on the board. You know what I'm saying? It's not talking about that kind of soldier. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the actual energy before it was manifested into people acting out army duties and marine duties and stuff like that. The actual nature of being a soldier is fighting for a cause. You know what I'm saying? So 9 times out of 10, if you in an army, y'all fighting for a cause. Now, the natural cause of what you're fighting for may be petty as fuck, because we're on land, it's government, politics, this, that, and the third. But at the initial state of it and the lower pyramid form of it, we have soldiers that's in armies and stuff like that here to carry out the general conceptions of the public, or whatever land they're on, as far as America or whatever continent or whatever they represent for their cause. You know what I'm saying? Which we're in America, so our cause is, you know what I'm saying, we have presidents, government, and whatever like that. So when we go to war over resources and stuff like that, the cause we're fighting for admits us to have soldiers to fight that cause. You know what I'm saying? So soldiers is like the petty level of it, but the actual energy of itself is fighting for a cause. So Scorpios and Aries know this best than anyone else, that you're here for a cause, and if you're not acting in that cause, you're going to be vulnerable, and you're going to distance yourself from reality until you get a grip of yourself and find a cause for you to expand yourself again. So this is Aries and Scorpio right now we talking about, but we talking about Mars in general. Now Mars is the like I said, they say it's the soldier because it's here to carry out the duties and responsibilities of the general. Who's the general? The father, the son. Now it's the intentions behind it. So whatever sun sign you is, your actions is going to be in a path. You're going to be on a path where your light and your sunlight only focus you see. So depending on what sun sign you are, that's the focus path you're on. So your rising sign is your personality within it all. Your moon, which is the most important, is how you feel and who you are within the situations, and how your emotions handle the situations, or what you're receiving from the outer yin realm. And your actions is how you carry out these things. Now your Mars is the intention. So wherever your Mars is at, is going to be how your actions is predicated. So for an example, I'm a sun sign in Aries, right? Now my Mars is exalted, is in 29 degrees Capricorn. Now some charts is 29 degrees Capricorn, and some charts is 0 degrees Aquarius. So mine's a little bit more tricky because it's a cusp right here. So when you have a cusp, now, cusp, I'm going to do a whole video on cusp, because the same way how we have 30 degrees, a cusp is a 5-degree orb. You know what I'm saying? It can only be a 5-degree orb. You know what I'm saying? And the completion of it is the 0 degrees of a sign. You know what I'm saying? Now, the 29 to 28 degrees of the previous sign is the other two, and then the first degree and the second degree of the sign of the sign next to it is the 5-degree orb. So it's the 0, 1, 2 this side, 1, 2 this side. That's the orb of a cusp. So with that, when you on the 29 to 28 degree cusp of a sign, you're going to carry these traits into the next sign. So whatever, so for example, at 29 degrees Capricorn, I'm carrying my traits to the next sign, which is Aquarius. So what happens here is looked at like I'm having the shadow side of Capricorn, because I'm trying to do things. My intentions is trying to do things in a new field, a new area, which is the Aquarius field, the 11th house field. But the only way I'm trying to do it is in the process field I just left from, which is the 29, 28 degrees Capricorn. So in areas of my Mars, my intentions may throw people off, because they may think I have bad intentions where I may not. It's a confusion of intentions, because it's a mixture of energies. It's an earth and air energy. So I'm carrying, so people seeing me being overly practical, overly cautious, overly aware of what others may think when I'm trying to socialize with others. So I may get more reserved into socializing, because I'm bringing that back. I'm bringing all these Earth Capricorn traits into the Aquarius house, because it's the cusp. So when it's time, so the way that people naturally communicate as a general conception of everybody is throwing people off when I try to do it, because I'm bringing too much practicality. I'm bringing too much. So people might think I'm too critical. I'm too cynical. I'm too stubborn to understand other ways of communication, to the point that I throw myself off in an isolated place. To the point that I may think I'm a unique, but the way I put myself out there is in ways that no one else can relate to. So people may like it, but they may like it from a distance or behind closed doors. Now, Alright, now, so when you on the cusp of see, I should make a whole cusp video because this is about Mars, but we doing an example right now because we talking about my Mars, so this all makes sense at the end of the day. Now, when you on the cusp side of the 1 and the 2 degrees, the 0 is the completion. You got a perfect mixture of the 2 cusps. So it can either go 2 ways, no in between, no blurred line, no gray area. The 29 to 28 degrees of a cusp is a gray area from the bad side of that sign. The 1 to the 2 degrees of the next sign cusp, that's it's a gray area of the light side. So, and the 0 is a complete gray area. So it can either go 2 ways, no extreme. It can either go black or white. You can either be completely messed up in this field or completely great in this field. Now, when we talk about the 1 to the 2 degree motherfucking cusp, that's you're actually good at that house, because the first 10 degrees of any sign, that's the actual sign. So for my case, say if I was 1 degree Mars and 1 degree Aquarius, or 2 degrees Aquarius, then I will be overly communicative, right? But it still would throw people off, because I will be throwing myself in situations where I may need to go back into Capricorn. But since I'm not in it, I'm in the future cusp, which is the 1 to 2 degrees early of a sign. So when it's time for me to go back to old ways, I may have a hard time of doing that. So people may see me overly communicative, but they don't see the practicality or the reality behind it. So I will put myself in situations where I may need the practicality around it. So I'm going to have enough situations where I can communicate wherever I want to communicate, but I would need some type of foundation and grounding behind it in order for it to make sense. Now that's the 1 to 2 degree cusp. But see, mine is 0, 29 degrees. So I got like a slightly dark Capricorn, slightly blend of the air of Aquarius. So it's like, it's almost, and this is the exaltation, exact exaltation of Mars. So my intentions may throw people off, but at the end of the day, my intentions is always to build a foundation for others to communicate about. You know what I'm saying? So, right, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm building this page, this YouTube foundation for others to communicate about, to learn about themselves within their own community, other than me just building something for a selfish reason. If it was in a little earlier degree Capricorn or middle degree, 15 degrees Capricorn, if my Mars was in there, then it'd be a little bit more selfish. But by it being in exaltation Mars and being a little bit cusp of Aquarius, is which air signs are the relation part of the relation tribe, I'm building a foundation for others. It's not about me. It's about y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about this, about coming across for my own personal reasons. You know what I'm saying? So these is my intentions. But I have to actually express it for people can get it clear, because it's still a cusp. So while Aries here, so look, my sun is in Aries, right? So my actions is to be first. My actions is to be innovative. My actions is to be original. My actions is to actually go left when everybody is going right. My actions is actually to be detached and don't attach myself to anything in fear of, I know the destructive road it can go. Anytime I try to attach myself to a stability or an establishment with others, I burn bridges. That's when I try to mix it in the air, the earth fire. Anytime I try to communicate with the air, yeah, it's a quick rapture and a quick elaborative of ideas put together, but at the same time, it's not enough connection there to actually build anything going. So it's just a fling, you know what I'm saying? And anytime I come in with fire, we can either make steam, which would be a steamy situation where things is like it's a warmth between us that we both love, and we both have to keep that fire and that water boiling, or it could be a situation where either the water put the fire out, or it's just so much fire that it burns the water out to the point that the water gets evaporated. So this could leave both people, this could leave both situations scarred. So I have to understand that going into any situation as an Aries. So by my Mars being in Capricorn, 29 degrees, my intentions, my all that energy I was just telling y'all, to be first, to be innovative, to be original, all that is going towards building a foundation for myself to fall back on, because my Mars intentions is in Capricorn. Now look, for an example, say I'll take all that from an Aries sun, right? Now say if my say if my Mars was in, say my Mars was in Pisces. Now if my Mars was in Pisces, my intentions will be to help others. My intentions will be to connect with others on a deep level, so we could all go with the flow and be on the same page. And when there's a discourse may happen, that my intentions may feel like I need to get everything back on an even flow, because it's going to become chaos. Now if my Mars was in, say my Mars, if I'm an Aries sun, say my Mars was in Virgo. So take all that energy that Aries do to be first, number one, to be grounded, be boom, 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 boom. I mean, not to be grounded, but to be the pierce through reality, to burn through reality. Say it comes through and my Mars is in Virgo, which is the practical another earth sign, and it's what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to burn through details. Not my intentions is not only going to be to act fast and be the first one to pay attention to close details and how the clock actually work, and how to unscrew the clock and see what's making everything tick. My intentions is not only going to be on that, but my intentions is going to be critical to that. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be my intentions. My intentions is going to be first to do that. My intentions is going to be first to be mutable into knowing how things tick and how things work. You know what I'm saying? So that's an example. Like now, say your sun is in motherfucking Libra, right? Now the sun falls here in Libra, so the sun is asleep. So your actions, you always have to, this is another reason why Sun and Libras have to look towards others to see how things may be done in order for them to get an understanding of it. And when they use their abstract and intellectual mind, they're able to add on and make it better. You know what I'm saying? But they have to see how it's done, because if they out here just doing things recklessly, they may be innovative and original to others, but they may not feel like that to themselves. They may just be feeling like they need some type of like feedback in order to know what they're doing is right or wrong. So that's what they mean. What I mean sleep and action don't mean that you can't act on anything because you completely sleep. No, we talk about esoterically sleep. The sun is esoterically resting in Libra, so it's esoterically sleep. So it's given time to recuperate, to go back around around again. So when say your sun is in Libra, now see where Mars is at. Now you would have to see where Venus at, right? But you still, that's more important for a Libra. But if you want to see your intentions behind your actions, you still have to see where Mars is at. So as a Libra, your actions is already going to be seeing both sides of how to do something and bringing it into one, so it can be a balance, so it can be complete. Now, a lot of times Libras only can feel complete when they're relating to another, or feel complete when they're in some type of relationship. Now, Mars is going to be the intentions. So if you have Mars squaring Libra, like say you have Mars in Cancer, your intentions is going to be naturally to care, but the way you care may not be what other people may like, and they may think you're trying to get into their business too much. And then Mars is freaking sleep in Cancer, so your intentions is going to throw people off. People are always going to think you're trying to cling on to them. People are always going to think you're trying to use people. People are always going to think you're trying to communicate just to be nosy. People are always going to think you're just trying to relate to them because you need some sense of you want to feel belonged to something. You want to feel a belonging or something like that. So that's how that can play out. You know what I'm saying? But Mars is the doer. It does the actions. You know what I'm saying? It puts itself out there and formulates the actions. So whatever your sun is seeing within this life path, like Aries. So if your sun is in Aries, your sunlight is on an Aries path. If your sun is in Taurus, then in this life you're seeing towards things. So you're dealing with issues of your possessions. You're dealing with issues of being stingy. You're dealing with issues of giving to others and learning how to give to others. If your sun is in Gemini, then that's the life path you see. Your actions is here to communicate and learn the processes of the human brain. You're here to learn all the technicalities of how things can work and to express it to others, so people can know common grounds on things that's not too much in the unknown. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be your actions. That's your actions. So Mars is going to be how you do these actions, the intentions behind the actions. So you know what I'm saying? Make sure you know where your Mars at, so you can know if your intention is good or bad, so you can understand a little bit more how you come across to others. Because you may have good intentions, but you may get the impression off of others that they don't need your kind of help, or you're trying to do something, you're trying to use them for something, and you're not trying to come across like that, but it's like you don't know what to do. 9 times out of 10, check out your Mars. Both of y'all Mars is probably deflected in some type of way, or y'all Mars and Venus is deflected. So you know what I'm saying? Mars is the doer. So next time you acting out and doing whatever like that, make sure you know where your Mars at to know how you acting out, because you may, whatever your sun sign is, that's what you're into. You're gonna be acting those things out, but Mars is how you acting them things out. So your intentions may throw motherfuckers off, and you may have never known that. You know what I'm saying? So once you know that, you know how to fix that shit. So yeah, that's Mars right here. You know what I'm saying? Mars is the soldier. Mars is the son. Mars is the older son. Mars could be the uncle. You know what I'm saying? Mars is the aggressor. Mars is the what happens when a father, which is the son, try to discipline the older son, and try to make the older son lead by example, which is the younger son, Mercury. And say, take out the trash. Make sure you do your chores. Make sure your little brother know what you're doing, so he can grow to be responsible. So what Mars go do? It goes to take out the trash. Now the sun is the father, so it's here is providing. But it's gonna make that little motherfucker go take out the motherfucking trash. You go wash your motherfucking dishes, and you gonna go to work with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna teach you how to work. FlightBoss, bitch, you know, for sure. And it's another one. Another one. DJ Khaled voice. FlightBoss, bitch. Let's mouth this motherfucker. We're gonna get into the signs.